Okay, so the spices are roasted. They are a nice dark brown color. We're going to avoid burning them, but they do need to get nice and dark. And here the curry leaves, the fresh curry leaves are nice and crispy. We pour them out into a dish and let it cool. These have already cooled because I let them sit earlier on. Next step is to grind them. So I'm going to grind this little by little. This is the Spicy Gourmet spice grinder. I'm going to put in the roasted seeds and the leaves a little at a time. Now here's a technique for use in the mill. Put the spices in, put on the top, turn it upside down, start the motor, and slowly turn it the right way up. And then you tilt it back and forth like a cocktail shaker. And before you know it, you will have a really fine powder. There we are. So that is the roast. Ceylon roast. And then you continue with the rest of the spices until you're done. You can keep this the freshest in a airtight container in a cool, dark place. And of course, you know, make as much as you can use or wish to use in a span of a week or a couple of weeks even. Okay, now we're at the point where we're going to actually make the chicken curry. So the ingredients for the chicken curry are the cut chicken, we have the Ceylon roast blend, we have some lemongrass, some cardamoms and cloves, paprika powder, cayenne, salt, our old friend curry leaf, onions, a serrano pepper, or if you prefer dried red pepper, garlic and ginger. First thing we're going to do is we're going to marinate the chicken anywhere from 20 minutes to the following day. We take the Ceylon roast blend, place it in a bowl, along with the cayenne and paprika and the salt. One ingredient I forgot to mention as part of the ingredient list is white rice vinegar. Probably missed that because it's in a clear container. Okay. So you place the vinegar on top of that, and you actually want to stir it up a little bit. Make sure the spices are blended along with the vinegar. And the next step, you may either use a ladle or you may use your bare hands, which is what I'm going to do. So we're going to place the chicken pieces in here. Like that. Now I'm going to use my fingers, so you may do as you wish. This allows me to really make sure that the pieces are thoroughly coated, because my hands are extremely clean. And there we go. It's very quick, really. Now you can adjust the seasonings in terms of the salt and the cayenne further on during the cooking process. But here, we're done with this right now. So we're going to let this sit and let it marinate. Again, you know, I prefer to marinate overnight, but it's not really critical. A couple of hours, even 20 minutes, will really make a difference. The next thing we're going to do is to set this aside, cover it, and actually refrigerate it for a while, okay? Okay, a couple of ingredients finally that I forgot to mention, very important. Coconut oil or canola oil and coconut milk. A high quality organic coconut milk is ideal for this recipe, or for that matter any recipe that calls for coconut milk. So the first step is I've got the coconut oil in the pan, and I'm going to take a sprig of curry leaves, put that in there. It's going to start sizzling, flooding around some lemongrass, bruised cardamoms and crushed cloves. Now this is on medium to high heat. And then what I'm going to do is I've taken the onion, the garlic, the ginger, and some green chili, and I've processed it in a food processor. Now you can really finely chop the ingredients as I normally do. I'll put that in there. Reduce the heat a little bit, and what you want to do is allow the onion to saute and to release its oils, which you will see happening. Actually, what occurs is if you leave this here at the right temperature, medium heat, you will see the oil separate from the onions and go to the edge of the pan. So you saute that for a little bit until the onions reach a kind of a golden color. Translucent golden, they say. So this will probably take about 5 to 10 minutes on low heat. Can't really hurry the process. Now, once it's reached that stage, you add the chicken. The chicken's already been marinating. Just put it in there. Turn the heat back up to high. And you coat the chicken with the mixture of onions, garlic, ginger, and green chilies. Stir it around a little bit. Need to be a little gentle because you don't want to damage the flesh. A few turns like this with this large spoon or a ladle. The chicken's coated. And then you want to let it cook for about 10 minutes. Okay, we'll let the chicken heat through. It's well coated. Now, final step before we let it cook for up to 40 minutes is to add the coconut milk. You add the coconut milk, then stir it thoroughly. Gosh, that looks so yummy. Now, once again, I must say that this is really one version of a Ceylon chicken curry or Sri Lankan chicken curry, because there are techniques whereby you add the coconut milk last, once it's finished cooking. But this, I think, is the more traditional way of making a chicken curry in Sri Lanka or Ceylon. So there we go. That looks fabulous. And we're going to let this come to a boil, simmer. Do not cover it, because if you do, because of the introduction of coconut milk, it'll separate, it'll start to coagulate and form into clumps. You don't want to do that. So you just turn it down to low to medium and let it cook in about half an hour. Check for doneness by piercing a piece such as the thigh or the leg, and I'm sure you will enjoy it thoroughly. Okay, our chicken curry has completed its cooking process. The chicken curry is cooked. The chicken is done. So what I'm going to do is serve it up. It's going to be actually quite delicious. There will be some whole spices in here, so let your guests know. Some people like biting into a whole cardamom or a crushed clove. They like the intensity of that flavor. Personally, I don't, but then we all have our preferences. Nuances in tasting spices. Here we go. Now you may want to garnish this with some cilantro or some chives. I like chives. Or even some finely sliced green onion. Here we go. And I'm going to ladle some sauce on top. and I'm sure you will impress your family and friends with the Ceylon chicken curry. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Please do share it with your friends, and you will find the complete recipe below in my blog, the Spicy Gourmet Recipe blog, where you will also see the video. Thanks again for joining me. I wish you well. Cheers.